Today, as you may have understood by the title of this video, I'm going to show you some of my favorite Google Chrome extensions that you can use it as a web developer or designer. I really like these tools and I use most of them all the time. If you think this is going to be an interesting video, then like and subscribe, and let's get started. The first one that I'm going to show you is Windows Resizer. This extension resizes the browser windows in order to emulate various resolutions. The tool is particularly useful for front-end developers and designers to test their layouts on different browser resolutions. I really like this one. It's updated like every now and then, and you can have it for free, which is as always awesome. Alright, let's continue with another one, which is ColorZilla, and I think that I have talked about it before. ColorZilla is not only for Firefox, you can have it for Chrome, and as the name says, it has to do about colors. ColorZilla assists web developers and graphic designers with color-related tasks by allowing them to get a color reading from any point in the browser and then quickly adjust this color and paste it into another program. I use ColorZilla a lot, but I also have some other tubes that I'm using with ColorZilla, like eyedropper, or I have it here like the ColorZilla, and I also have the color grab. As you can see, I really am into colors and I like to grab them if I like them, so by ColorZilla is really easy to do that. If you think that it's not helpful for you, then you could also use the eyedropper, which is something very similar. You just click on a color and then it will pick these exactly colors. Alright, let's continue with another one that it has nothing to do with colors, and it's called Live Reload. So Live Reload monitors changes in the file system and preprocessors them so that when files or images are saved, the browser is automatically refreshed. In other words, you don't have to refresh your website ever again if you are using this Live Reload thing. Okay, you can download it for Windows, Mac or Linux. Let's keep going with WhatRun. Okay, I like this one and I'm using it mostly when I'm curious. So as the overview says, WhatRun extension is one click away for you to find technologies used on any website you visit, from developer tools to an ad networks to WordPress plugins and themes. They detect even the new and upcoming tools and services. I really like this one, but I also like to see when it's the last time that it has been updated, and it's August 23 of 2018. So I prefer using tools that are being updated regularly. Not that August is so far away, but still we have October to November. But I like this tool and I think that it's working just fine. Now, last but not least, we have WhatFont. I think that I have mentioned this one in one of my previous videos that I was talking about typography. I mean, colors and typography are two things that I really like. Now, again, here we have the last update on May 6th of 2017, which is quite old, I have to say, but it's still working very good. What does this tool is, let's read the description. What is the easiest way to find out the fonts used in websites? Fireback and WebKit Inspector are easy enough to use for developers. However, for others, this should not be necessarily. With this extension, you could inspect web fonts by just hovering on them, and it's just simple and elegant. I liked this one, but then I read the reviews and a lot of people said that it wasn't working for them, but that's because when you're using this tool, you have to refresh your website in order to read the types or the typography of each image or of the texts. So remember, if you're using them, then just refresh your website and it's going to be working fine. Now that I'm talking about Chrome extensions, let me show you what I'm actually using in my everyday life, and then there are some few others that I have them in my Chrome settings, but sometimes I use them, sometimes not. All the ones that I show you now, the 5 ones, I use them very regularly, but also there are some other ones that I don't use so often. I have the first one, which is Adblock and Adblock Plus, and these are obviously for blocking the advertisements. And then I have another one that I really like, and it's called Grammarly. If you're not familiar with this one, it actually checks your texts, which means, for example, if I have an email and I'm writing something, if I have misspelled something, by using this tool, it will catch the mistake and it will make it, and it will suggest something else. It's not like this red line under the word, because Grammarly also gives you some suggestions, and yes, I think that I prefer it. Then I have Toggle, which again I think it's something that I have talked in a previous video, and Toggle is about managing your time. I'm not going to say anything else, or otherwise this video is going to get too long and I don't want that. I have the Play, which is something that I use for the Medium publications or in the Medium magazine. If you wanted to hear something or to listen to an article, then there is a button there, but you have to have this thing here, the Play one, in order to listen to it. And then of course I have the iDropper that I've already talked. And I have the Tag Assistant by Google. This one is for Google Tag Manager, and I have Google Tag Manager on my website, so that's why I'm using this one. I have the Source Center icons in Gmail, so because I'm getting a lot of emails, it helps me to see from who I'm getting them. So I have little icons or little images inside of every email, so it's easier for me to understand who has sent me something by seeing the image and not reading the name. Then I have Check My Links, which this one is another great tool, and I used to work a lot with it when I was creating my website, because I have a lot of links, and these links were usually going somewhere in an external source. I wanted to check if every external source was correctly, and this one did the job for me. So you just click on it and you see if every link works. Then I have Honey, that I'm not really using it, so it's not about web design or developers, so I'm not going to talk about this one. And we have Allow Control, Allow Origin or Quarks. I'm not also going to talk a lot about this because it's something that I used to work with, but now I'm not. We have GitHub Original Streak, and it's what the name says. I have again another tool, which is ColorZilla, and yeah, we just talked about this one, and of course the Color Grab that I also talked about it. I have this one, which is Submitting Chrome Connector, but I think that I'm going to delete it because I'm not using it, and I wouldn't ever suggest to anyone use this one, but this is another story of why I have it right here. And that was the tools that I'm using for my Chrome. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you're having an amazing day, and see you in the next video.